Hey guys, it's Friday, July the 3rd, 4th of July weekend. So I'm going to have a little lame humor for you. And I'm happy today because every time I think that this material cannot get any lamer than it already is, I find something even lamer. So I'm happy to say that today. We're going to talk to the guys and the ladies for a little bit. Guys, I'll start with you. Just a pointer. Every time you talk to your wife, just silently remind yourself of these words. This conversation is being recorded for quality and training purposes. Just remember that, it'll serve you well. And don't be so hard on yourself. You know, everyone makes mistakes. So the key is when you make a mistake, then just take responsibility, move on, forget the mistake. There's no sense in two people remembering the same thing forever. No use. Here's a question for you guys. If a man speaks in the forest and there's no woman there to hear it, is he still wrong? Just ponder that if you can. Ladies, here's a tip for you. If you're married and you really want to see your husband freak out and see a panicked look on his face, just go in early one morning at breakfast while he's still having breakfast and say, "Wow, do you know what today is?" Watch his face. You'll see what I mean. Works every time. Guys, never underestimate a woman's ability to make anything your fault. Don't underestimate that, because it usually is anyway. We all know that. Hey, here's a little tidbit. I had a letter that came in from John. Dear A.B., I know what you're thinking, but no relation. This is A.B. Dear A.B., I hate breakups, especially when they try to let you down gently. Yeah, John, I know what you mean, especially when they say things like, it's not you, it's me. I just need some space. We can still be cousins. You know, things like that. I understand exactly what you mean. Here are some random thoughts for you. When you fill out a job application and you get to that part of the application where it says, who to contact in the event of an emergency, shouldn't we really just put ambulance there? Do you think? I don't know, it makes sense to me. Also, if you're not supposed to eat at night, why is there a light in the refrigerator? I've always wondered that. And you know, I'm constantly getting these ads for pre-planning for burial plots. And you know, I always say to myself, this is the last thing I need. Last thing I need. Here's a tip that I think will really be helpful. You know, as we get a little older, we start being somewhat forgetful. I know I am. I forget passwords sometimes. So if you have a tendency to forget your passwords or have trouble remembering them, just go in and change all your passwords to incorrect. That's right. That way, the next time you forget one, you'll automatically get a reply from the company and it'll say your password is incorrect. Easy way to do it. Simple. Here's an actual billboard that was on Route 66 in California from Pacific Bell. That's the telephone company. And basically it just said, has your phone service been disconnected? Call us. Yeah. What are you going to say? Let's get to some news here. I think I've covered most of the other part. Here's some breaking news. Did you hear about the man that was accidentally buried alive? It was a grave mistake. Yep, and everyone was pretty upset about it. Here's one that's really getting some trending news on the internet. A 9-year-old girl in Vermont has disappeared. Yep, into thin air. Apparently after using a moisturizer that's supposed to make you look 10 years younger. I don't know how she got a hold of that. Looks like Walmart's going to close 400 stores in the U.S. soon. Sources say it would put about 12 cashiers out of work, which, you know, no one wants to see that. Here's a riddle for you. What swims in the sea, carries a machine gun, and makes you an offer that you can't refuse? That's right, the Codfather. I told you, lamer than lame. Yep. What did the tree do when the bank closed? Created its own branch. How about that? There's more than one way to skin a cat. How do you properly identify a dogwood tree? Come on, guys. From its bark. That's easy. And why is Mr. Mushroom always invited to the best parties? Because he's a fun guy. A fun guy. Yes. I told you. What did the Jedi say to the tree? This is the last one, by the way. May the forest be with you. From the Jedi. I do want to have a little quick story about 4th of July patriotism. I found this to be something that was interesting. Apparently, the Homeland Security Group had a very top level position available for someone that could demonstrate loyalty and the ability to follow orders. So they had pared down their applicants to the last 3. One was a Navy SEAL participant, one was a Marine sergeant, and one was a mom of 7 children, stay-at-home mom, homeschool, that type of thing. And so the drill, that was their last test of loyalty, is they were sending each one into a room. That they would find a person in this room, and they were to open the desk drawer, take out the gun, and kill the person in the room. So the first guy, who was the Marine sergeant, walked into the room, opened up the door, walked into the room, and there he saw his wife. And so he immediately realized that he couldn't do it. So he grabbed his wife and, left the room, left the building. So that left the Navy SEAL. The Navy SEAL went into the room, saw that his girlfriend was there, and he actually opened the drawer, and then he realized that he couldn't do it, and he shut the drawer, grabbed his girlfriend, and left. And then the mom with the 7 kids that did homeschooling and such, she had no experience, but she had made it up through the ranks, walked in the door, opened the door, walked in, saw her husband sitting there. She closed the door. Next thing you heard was silence, and then all of a sudden you heard 4 gunshots. Pow, 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 pow. And then silence again. And then all of a sudden all heck broke loose with furniture and yelling and all kinds of random noise. And after about 5 minutes, she walked out of the room. She was very haggled and, distraught. Well, she was angry, actually, and she walked out and said, "Guys, you idiots put blanks in the gun. I had to take him out with the chair." Yep. And I believe she got the gig. She was very loyal to her country. Just a little story I wanted to pass on. I did want to say just a couple other things to all my Aggie friends down in Texas. People that might have Aggie friends. If an Aggie tries to throw fireworks at you over the weekend, all you have to do is pick it up, light it, and throw it back. Very easy. Easy to do. Easy peasy. So to wrap up today's session, I just wanted to say that from heartfelt advice, as far as forgiveness, sometimes when you want to forgive someone, the first step to forgiveness from your heart is just to realize that they're doing the best they can with what they have to work with. And sometimes people are just born as a complete idiot. So take that to heart. Have a great 4th of July weekend. See you soon.